Assalamu alaikum everyone, and today we are going to make a lecture for the first topic, and that topic is about the understanding the three steps of writing. So before going to discuss, let me introduce myself. My name is Abdul Hafiz, and I'm the English lecturer in Rifa International College, Peshawar. Today we are going to talk briefly about the three steps writing process. So before going to start, let us discuss about the importance of written communication in business. So there are different forms of communication in business, such as verbal, non-verbal, and written. Each of these communication forms is significant. However, a written communication usually requires more thoughts and efforts. Uh, Writing must be concise, informative, and easy to read as both an informative and instructional tool. In this slide, we will discuss about the written communication. Written communication is also important for business advertising. So small companies need to promote their businesses to potential customers and business customers. So written advertisements include direct emails or the letters or the brochures, magazines, display advertisements, flyers, internet advertisement, and catalogs. So advertising is actually designed to attract attention, to compel people to purchase the products. So in the next slide, we are going to discuss briefly about what is three-step writing process. So the three-step writing process is used to communicate both a routine and a persuasive uh, message. A persuasive message. What is persuasive actually? Persuasive mean that when you deliver a message that is reasonable, so in the workplaces, so this process involves planning, writing, and completing to help you create a finished written pieces. So we will briefly discuss planning, writing, and completing in the next slide. So before going to start the three processes, let us first of all discuss planning. What is plan actually? And what does it mean? So, during this phase, writers may plan for writing by drawing pictures, making lists, or brainstorming using graphic organizers. So, there are four steps: analyzing the situation, gather information, select medium, right medium, organize the information. So, first of all, we should discuss analyze your situation. So, every communication efforts take place in a particular situation, meaning you have a specific message to send to a specific audience under a specific circumstances. So analyzing the situation gives you the insight necessary to meet your own needs as a communicators, while also meeting the information needs of your recipient. So a successful message starts with a clear purpose that connects the sender's need with the main audience needs. For example, describing your qualifications in an email message to an exclusive in your own company differs significantly from describing your qualifications in your LinkedIn profile. So the email message is likely to be focused on one specific goal, such as explaining why you would be a good choice to head up a major project, and you can focus on the needs of a single or personally identifiable readers. So, in contrast, your social networking profile could have multiple goals, such as connecting with your peers in other companies and presenting your qualification to potential employers, and it might be viewed by hundreds or thousands of readers, each with his or her own needs. These two scenarios have different purposes and different audiences, so they require distinctly different messages. Before going further, let us say that whatever I say, actually, you must first of all keep this thing in your mind that if you want to make notes, you must listen to me very clearly. Okay. So these slides will help you in this lecture, and my lecture will help you to make notes as well, because I'm going to discuss very briefly each and everything in this slide and in upcoming slides. Okay, so defining your purpose. Um, all businesses or all business messages have a general purpose. That means to inform, to pursue, or to collaborate, or to initiate a conversation. So this purpose helps define the overall approach you will need to take, from gathering information to organizing your message. Within the scope of that general purpose, each messages have also a specific purpose, which identifies what you hope to accomplish with your message. Define your specific purpose as precisely as possible, even identifying which audience members should respond, how they should respond, and when they should respond. After you have defined your specific purpose, make sure it merits the time and efforts required for you to prepare and send the message. So, before going to send the message, we have to discuss some of the questions and ask these four questions from yourself. The first, will the message change anything? It means, will anything change a result of your message? Make sure you don't contribute to information overload by sending messages that won't change anything. Complaining about things you have no choice influence over is a good example of a message that probably shouldn't be sent. You should also ask the second question, is your purpose realistic? It means recognizing whether a goal is realistic is an important part of having a good business sense. For example, if you request a raise while the company is struggling, you might send a message uh, that you are not tuned into the situation around you. The third question is the timing of the message right? It means, is the time right? For people who are busy or distracted when they review or receive your message, are less likely to pay attention to it. So you will ask yourself the fourth question, will your purpose be acceptable? Which means, will is your purpose acceptable to organization or not? So your company's business objectives and policies, and even laws that apply to your industry may dictate whether a given purpose is acceptable or not. So, when you are satisfied that you have a clear and a meaningful purpose, and that now is a smart time to proceed. So, your next step is to understand the members of your audience and their needs. So, before audience uh, before audience members will take the time to read or listen to your messages, they have to be interested in what you are saying. They need to know the message is relevant to their needs, even if they don't necessarily want to read or see your message. The more you know so about your audience members, the more their needs and their experiences are effective, so you will be able to communicate with them. So before communicating, you have to develop an audience profile. So for the first point, identify primarily audience members. What does it mean? It means that for some messages, certain audience members might be more important than others. Don't ignore the needs of less influential members, but make sure you address the concerns of the key decision makers. If you look at the second point, that is determine audience size and location. It means that we are talking about the audience size and geographic distribution. A message aimed at 10,000 people spread around the globe will likely require a different approach than one aimed at a dozen people down the hall. If you look at the determined composition of the audience, it means that look for if you look for the similarities and differences in culture, languages, age, education, organizational rank and status, attitudes, experience, motivations, bias, beliefs, and any other factors that might affect the success of your message. So these are the 3 points, and moreover we have some other points as well. For example, was their level of understanding. So gauge their level of understanding means if audience members share your general background, they will probably understand your material without difficulty. If not, your message may need an element of education. If you look at the fifth point, check their expectations and preferences. It means that, for example, will members of your audience expect complete details or just a summary of your main points? In general, for internal communication, the higher up the organization your message goes, the fewer details people want to see. If you look at the last point, forecast their probable reaction. So it means, as you will read later in this chapter, the way you organize a message should depend on the reaction you expect to get from your audience. If you expect a favorable response, you can state conclusions and recommendations upfront and offer minimal supporting evidence. You can expect skepticism or resistance. You can introduce conclusion gradually and with more proof. So, in the next slide, we will talk about gathering information in the next lecture. Here is 13 minutes lecture, and this is part 1, and in the part 2 we will discuss gathering information briefly. Thank you for watching part 1. You must watch part 2 as well in order to understand this lecture.